Deposit not FDIC insured, not insured by any federal government agency, not guaranteed by the bank, may go down in value.
Indiana in the Morning, presented by First Commonwealth Bank on WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, WCCSradio.com. It is 9:12, and it is time for an interview segment presented by Marcus & Mack, voted Best Personal Injury Law Firm in the Best of Indiana County contest. Marcus & Mack, a law firm representing injured people, and our interviews are also going out on Facebook Live this morning, so joining us, as you can see on your screen if you're watching on Facebook, but if you're listening to us, we'll go ahead and do the proper introduction. This is Cindy Rummell of Grief Share joining us here on Indiana in the Morning. Cindy, good morning.
Good morning, Josh, and thank you so much for this opportunity to come in and share a little bit about Grief Share.
Definitely. So let's actually, if you can bring that mic a little bit closer to you, will be great. That's fine.
How's that?
That's better. There we go. We can hear you loud and clear now.
Good.
So you were telling me that you are the leader of Grief Share for
Yes.
the area. For Clymer area, I'm sorry. So where do you hold Grief Share normally?
We hold Grief Share at the Celebrate Life building in Clymer, which is at 148 6th Street, and a lot of people remember it formerly as Mr. B's Furniture Store. Courtney Blose and her husband acquired that building, and she has her business there of Tiny Disciples, which is an art and play studio for children.
Yeah.
And her mom, Pastor Jackie Green, uses the other side for where we come every Monday evening for Celebrate Life, which is a recovery program for any of the struggles, sorrows, or sufferings that you have in your life. Not necessarily just drug and alcohol addictions, but anything. And under her ministry, she has allowed us that space to come every Thursday evening for a 13-week cycle to help people that are stuck in grief and grieving and have lost a loved one.
So with this program that you've given us information about, this is actually a special program that Grief Share runs.
It is.
Now, talk about this, because it's just called Surviving the Holidays.
Surviving the Holidays. I mean, when we think about the holidays, we assume that it is a joyous, happy time for everybody, and it's not. These holiday seasons can really trigger some memories and a lot of pain because we have an empty chair there now that we've lost that loved one. And so through this seminar, and it is a one-time 2-hour seminar, it's a special event, what we hope to do is just give you some encouragement and some tips and things to help you navigate the holidays. Like simple things from, do I have to put a tree up? You know, do I have to go out and socialize?
Yeah. Because, as you said, the fact that the people that you love, whether they be friends or family,
Correct.
If they're not there, it leaves, to quote someone else, an awful big empty.
It does leave an awful big empty, and it's not even just per se a death of a loved one, but
Somebody moving out of the area.
My son and his family lived in South Dakota for 8 years, so I had 8 years that I didn't have Christmas with my grandchildren.
Yeah.
And that's painful. What about a divorce or a separation? There's still an emptiness there, and we need to know how to navigate that.
So it's not just the loss of a life by
Correct.
someone's death. It is the loss of that person's presence.
An empty chair.
All right. So that's why you said it's an empty chair rather than those things. Have you heard a lot about this? Well, obviously, since you help run the Grief Share program, this has been has it been successful for you to help with the people that you've been helping?
My goodness, yes. Now, this is the first year that I'm actually holding this seminar.
Okay.
Kathy Mahoric, who's a pastor here in Indiana, holds it every other year. And I just really became involved in Grief Share, believe it or not, a little over a year ago. This is actually my third cycle of going through Grief Share. And I lost both of my siblings in 2019, 7 months apart from each other.
Oh,
my older sister at 56, thank you, and my younger brother at 47.
Wow.
And my brother passed away 9 days before Christmas.
Ooh, that makes it very tough.
You know, we were still grieving for my sister, and now all of a sudden you're kind of putting that on the shelf because now you have this whole new aspect, and that can really shut a person down. And so when I found Grief Share, like, I'll be honest, I didn't cry for 2.5 years immediately after the funeral. Of course, I cried at that very beginning. But then I just shut down because I still had my mother to care for.
Yeah, you still had things to do. You had things to focus on.
You have life to live.
You have to move on.
And life does go on.
Yeah.
And so that's what we're there for, is to help you navigate all these different aspects of grief, the anger, the denial, questions for God. Why did this happen to me? Why so young? Why, all these questions. And that's what we meet for in the 13-week cycle, is to help you navigate through all of that. And I will say it is a Christian-based ministry.
Right.
However, you do not have to be a Christian or even believe in God to come and get something from it.
Okay, that's actually pretty good to know. One of the things that I've often been told whenever I read about grief or something like that grief is different for everybody. People go through it in different stages, in different time lengths.
Right. And we don't like to use the term stages.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Simply because we're going to call them the earthly stages of denial, bargaining, acceptance and all of that. We say they're signs of healing. Okay. So that you are accepting that person is gone by moving forward, that you are asking and answering questions, that you're helping other people. But yes, everybody's grief journey is very unique to them because of the different aspects of your relationship. Just for instance, as with my brother and sister, I'm grieving the loss of siblings. My mother's grieving the loss of her oldest child and her youngest child. Their spouses are grieving the loss of a spouse. The children are grieving the loss of a mother.
It's all different for everybody.
It's different for everybody. And some people, they may be able to move forward quickly, but the most important thing, and this is the biggest thing I share, you have to feel to heal.
Yeah.
If you squash those emotions down, eventually it's like a teapot, and it's going to steam and blow, and it's not going to be pretty. And so we have to feel all of these emotions in order to move forward and move through them, and that's what we help you do.
All right. So that's what Grief Share does in the 13 weeks. But this special program, this 2-hour seminar that's going to be coming up pretty soon.
Right, November 5th, this Sunday.
Okay. This is actually meant to help get through that holiday season. Now, after this, if people need further help, are they going to be able to continue to maybe sign up for Grief Share afterwards, or try to get some more of a support system behind them?
Absolutely. What we do, and we kind of work with Kathy Mahoric too, because she runs a Grief Share here in town. And then we have the one out in the Clymer area.
Right.
For that aspect of the county. So we'll be taking a break after this holiday season. This Thursday night is actually our 13th week in this cycle.
Oh, okay. So
we're going to take a break through the holidays, and then we will start again the first week in March. And what people can do, if they are interested, is go to griefshare.org /find a group, and punch that in, and then it'll have a little box there that you put your zip code in and search, and Clymer will come up. And it's through Gap Ministries. And they can register right online. There is no cost to register. The only cost there is we ask that people please pay for the workbook, because the ministry just cannot afford to pay for a book for everybody.
Right. So a payment for a workbook, which is pretty nominal.
$25.
Yeah, that's pretty standard for even college workbooks, to tell you the truth. So that and it's going to be able to be used, and if you need to, reused.
Absolutely.
Because you can always look back to it for reference. Look back to it to inspire in other ways.
Well, and also too, you may want to come for another cycle. like I said, I'm in my third cycle, and I'm still learning and still healing. I don't have to pay for another workbook.
Yeah, that's
you
good.
just use the same one. And the really cool thing about that, Josh, is you can look back on that and see where you were then and where you are now.
Yeah, and see the changes that have made, the positive impact that,
Yes.
that you're going through.
Grief Shares has been a true lifesaver for me.
And I think that's the reason I was going to ask this question, but I think you explained it beautifully. I think that's the reason why you got yourself involved on the teaching end of this.
Yes.
All right.
Well, and as a nurse, my goal is just to help as many people as I can. As a Christian, again, it's to encourage as many people as I can and just love on them. And it's part of your healing, too.
Yeah.
Once you get comfort, part of your healing is to share that comfort with others and comfort them. And that is a huge, huge sign of healing. But this seminar is really going to be critical for those that are really, really struggling at this time of year. And Josh, I do want to say, it doesn't matter if your loved one just died this past year and it's your first Christmas without them.
Or it could be the 10th Christmas without
The 10th Christmas, the 20th Christmas. It doesn't matter. People still hurt. It triggers memories. And we're going to help you through that. We will journey along with you. And truly, sometimes because you are such, we call it a grief fog,
Yeah.
because you can't concentrate. You can't think. It's hard enough just to get out of bed in the morning and do what you have to do, that truly the second Christmas without your loved one is really when it sets in.
Yeah. Okay. So, Grief Share, Surviving the Holidays, a special 2-hour seminar this Sunday. What time and where?
2 to 4 at 148 6th Street Clymer at the Celebrate Life building.
And if they have any questions, how can they get a hold of you, Cindy?
They can email me at cindy.rummell, and that's 2 M's, 2 L's, at yahoo.com. And my husband's probably going to yell at me for this, but if you truly are interested, you can text me at 724-464-3822. And you can also go on to gapministriespa.com and contact Pastor Jackie Green. And honestly, you do not have to register for this. We would prefer if you do, but just show up.
Yeah.
Just show up. That is half of the battle, and it takes such courage to do that. And you will be loved upon, and we will help you.
Cindy, we're out of time for our segment, but thank you very much for
Thank
sharing this
you.
with us, because this does sound very important, especially to those who may be hurting and the pain getting worse over the holidays. This is going to be a great way to help them cope.
And remember, in a world of Grinches,
Be a
choose to
Cindy
be a Cindy
Lou
Lou
Who.
Who.
That's why she's wearing the shirt, and you can see that on Facebook Live. Thanks again very much for joining us.
Thank you, Josh. You have a great day.
You too. Cindy Rummell of Grief Share joining us on Indiana in the Morning, presented by First Commonwealth Bank. Our interview presented by Marcus & Mack, voted Best Personal Injury Law Firm in the Best of Indiana County contest. Marcus & Mack, a law firm representing injured people. 9:25 on Indiana in the Morning. Coming up next is the CBS Sports Minute, presented by S&T Bank, People Forward Banking, and we'll have a check of news at the bottom of the hour.
He's on the move, just about to score. He's back in the action, and